Welcome to the Settle Your Side Hustle podcast. I started this podcast for one very simple reason, and that is to show you what it's like to actually start a business. Going from a side hustle business that I'm doing while working the 9 to 5 to being full-time in my business, living the life that I want, controlling my time, controlling my hours. And the number one problem that I had with every podcast I listen to on the market is that either A, they don't actually get down to the nitty-gritty. They're not transparent with you, telling you about their actual struggles, or B, they've already made it so there aren't struggles to share. And that's why I decided to start this podcast right here, right now, as I've just transitioned into full-time entrepreneurship, so I can actually share with you the struggles as I go through them, and you can learn from my experiences while you're growing your business alongside me. Now, let's get into the show. What is up, side hustlers, entrepreneurs, business builders, and dream makers? Welcome to Settle Your Side Hustle Podcast, episode 11. I hope you guys had a good weekend. You're ready to start your Monday off with a fantastic episode today. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to go a little different direction. I'm going to be a little bit more, I'm going to be pretty real with you. I'm going to be transparent with you. I'm going to share some stuff with you that is a little bit more on the unhappy, unpleasant side of running a business, okay? Because I had an interesting weekend. Pros, cons, goods, bads. But I want to share with you some of the struggles that come up whenever you are a business owner, because anybody who tells you that it's all fantastic and amazing and easy, that they're just lying. They're not being transparent. They're not being forthcoming. There's amazing things about being a business owner, but there's also a lot of things about being a business owner that are a grind, especially if you're a solopreneur or, you're a freelancer or like you don't have a team yet. Obviously, once you have a team, there's different types of hardships, but at every level, there's different problems that you never have to face if you're an employee. So I just want to share some of those with you guys today. And what we're going to talk about really right now, I guess we could oversimplify this and we could say when people don't keep their word. When people don't keep their word as far as it comes to paying you is really what we're going to talk about. I'm going to share 3 stories from my business with you. And I'm not doing this to complain. I'm not doing this to vent. I'm not doing this because I'm mad or upset or because I was completely caught off guard or it ruined my life or I can't pay my bills, nothing like that. I'm sharing it with you because honestly, all of these are just, they're par for the course. It's rare that you get so many of the stories that I'm about to share with you at once. I don't think I've ever had 3 case studies all happen at once, like the 3 I'm about to share with you that have all happened at once. But all these things are just par for the course. It's part of being a business owner. You guys probably know, like Settle Your Side Hustle, what I do fundamentally, my main focus is helping people build their own side hustle businesses, land clients, move forward, make progress, get from zero, I don't have an idea yet, or I have an idea, but I don't know how to do it, or I have a business, but I don't know where my next client's coming from, kind of getting from there to getting launched, having stability, having clients. That's what my main focus is. Well, when I'm doing that, I would feel disingenuous if I did not myself practice what I preach, if I did not myself have a side hustle that was of the way and the form that I teach. So what I do is done for you services. You guys know that I had a long conversation last week, basically all week, about moving up market, about the idea of, well, do I want to start offering higher ticket price points for more done for you services to larger clients? So I do done for you marketing services. Those can include doing things like creating like social media posts and content, doing reels or shorts, doing email marketing, or helping people with their own podcast production, all sorts of different things. But they're all in that like done for you organic content marketing world. Okay. So just that's the context you need to understand the 3 case studies I'm going to share with you. Okay. So one is what happened yesterday. It's Monday morning right now at time of recording. Yesterday, Sunday night, somewhere between 10 and 10:30 at night on the weekend, on a Sunday, I get a message from a client who's a client that I have on a monthly retainer, a low ticket monthly retainer, but a client that I have on a monthly retainer who just reaches out to me a couple days before their payment is due for the next cycle and says, "Hey, I need to put a pause on this." Okay. So that's a client that did not follow protocol. They didn't even reach out to me across the proper channel. I have a private Slack for my clients. They messaged me on Facebook, but okay. And then they didn't follow the agreed protocol for if they do have to pause. And They also have only actually made one payment ever, like they're a brand new client. And so what this means is that they were not prepared to work with me in the first place, frankly, because they're happy with me. They're not, we're on good terms. They're friendly. They're kind. They want to pause it. They don't want to cancel it. Like that's a distinction and that's important, So what that means is that either they didn't plan well for this expense, or something unexpected came up, something in their world, and as a result, they felt that they needed to break their contract to not honor their word. They felt that they had to cancel this payment. I'm not mad at them. I'm not. Okay. So my response to them is very simply, no problem. So the payments plan is canceled. The next payment will not be taken out. You still have X number of days left until your current pay period ends, which means you still have X number of days where you're going to get full access to the full service. And I'm happy and I look forward to when situation changes so that we can work together moving forward. Right. Cool. So there's one. Two, second one. I have another client who I've been working with all year, and I worked with them like previously. And this client pays me twice a month, and they have not paid me for the last three payments. They have not paid me in over a month. The last payment that they did pay me was late. So this client owes me about $1,500 currently. And so what do I do about that? Well, what I've decided to do with this client is continue providing the service and say, hey, you know what? I know what's going on. Communication's good. I know where you're struggling and why you're struggling. And I'm going to keep doing my part. And I'm going to, because I know you and I trust you, I'm going to let you pay me back when you can, and I'm going to keep working with you. That's what I decided to do with this client. I think the best response to these things is to show love, compassion, grace, and do everything you can to help them. If I had so many clients that I didn't have time for this, I would still offer this, because then I'd have had a team member do it. I would still say, hey, I'm still going to help you, because I think that's the right thing to do, because this client wants to continue working with me. Okay. There's two. Now, the third one's not a client, it's a prospect. This prospect, it's a prospect for a relatively low payment, one-time project. Okay. This prospect I was referred to them. They agreed to the terms last month. And so they're going to pay half up front, and then they're going to pay half upon completion. So they agreed to the terms up last month. And the expectation would have been that they would have paid me last month, and they would be getting all of their deliverables at the end of this month, and they would have already paid me the second half. They haven't paid the first half. They still want to move forward. They are not forthcoming about the circumstances that are delaying the payment, but they haven't paid me, so I haven't moved forward on this project. And all I'm doing is just with love and kindness, I'm following up regularly. I'm like, hey, checking in on this. Hey, where are we at? Hey, excited to get started. That's all I'm doing. Right? If you look at these three examples that I just shared, you put them side by side, you can add them all up and you can say, in the last month, the amount of money that has been promised to me but has not been paid to me actually surpasses all of my bills. It surpasses my rents, it surpasses my utilities, surpasses all the insurances. It doesn't surpass gas and groceries, but all the hard bills would have been covered entirely by this sum of money that has been promised to me and not given to me by these three case studies. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. And I'm not sharing this with you to vent or to complain. I'm sharing this with you. And the reason I shared the numbers with you is so that you can understand that these are the kind of things that come up when you own your own business. And that's why I think it's really healthy to keep a day job until your side hustle is making enough money that if you were to cut it in half, you could cover all your bills. Because what if half your clients don't pay you or don't pay you on time? Right? That's not something I expect. I look at my retainers and I expect this to come in, but I'm also prepared for it to not come in, because this is just par for the course as a business owner. And at least that's been my experience. Usually, like I said, usually you don't get three of them all at once like this. It's pretty nuts, but you do get things like this, and sometimes it's not three all at once, but sometimes it's a way larger client. right? And sometimes it's not just one client can't pay you. It's that three clients have to cancel, right? And sometimes it has nothing to do with you. Actually, in all three of these cases, it has nothing to do with me or my service. Um, sometimes it is directly your fault, or it does have something to do with what you've done, or there's a way you could have prevented it or fixed it. But sometimes it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes it's external. It's what's going on in their life. Sometimes it's the economy, like legitimately, like for certain industries. I saw that when I was working with roofers, that roofing takes a lull, and during the lull season, my business really suffered. And that just makes sense. That's par for the course. It's the ups and downs of the business. But you should mentally be prepared for these things. That's really the point I want to get across. You should mentally be prepared for these things. Have sufficient funds in the bank to be able to cover your losses if something horrible happens in your business, and have enough recurring revenue to where half of it covers all your costs. And those are two standards that I think you should hit before you leave a day job, because employees will never have to deal with not being paid by the person who promised to pay them. That'll never happen. Right? I mean, maybe on some extreme cases it happens, but generally speaking, as an employee, you can trust the money's coming in. It's only as a business owner that you're not sure, and you cannot always trust that the money's coming in. So keep that recurring revenue stream that you can trust until you've hit those points. That's my recommendation. That's my advice. That's what I teach my students. That's what I teach my clients. And it's because of things like this that happen in business, and they just happen. Sometimes you hit lulls. Anyway, that's what I have for you guys today. I just wanted to share that with you. I want to be transparent and open. I want you to be able to learn from this and be mentally prepared and financially prepared for these types of hurdles, because they will come up in every business. That's all I have for you guys. Before I sign off, I'm going to remind you that I have a really cool gift for you. If you are in a position where you do not know what you want to do, but you know you want to start a business, I have a free gift for you. It's a list of 50 proven side hustles that you can start with just a laptop. And then you can go down this list and you just pick the one that resonates with you, and you can launch a business. If you're in a position where you know exactly what you want to do, but you don't know how to do it, I have a checklist of the 11 tools you need to launch your side hustle virtually. And if you're in a position where you have an idea of what you want to do, you know how to do it, you're running the business, but you don't know where your next customer is coming from, I have a free Facebook group where I do weekly trainings on how to get stability in your side hustle business. That means how to get clients consistently. So all three of these, no matter what spot you're in, all three of these are all under the same exact link that's in the descriptions. It's thedevintracy.com/50 proven side hustles. Click on that. You'll immediately get access to all of that, and then you can launch your business and grow from there. Love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow.